Hey everyone, this is Aware One here with your daily dose of crypto awareness. I wanted to get on here real quick and talk about a concept. I thought the title of Fasting, Recessions, and the Cycle of Duality. Fasting's on my mind because I just finished fasting. I fast at the beginning of every month. Again, I've talked about this in other videos. Brief history on me and fasting. I started fasting back in around 2004, 2005. About the same time, I started meditating more dedicatedly with dedication back in 2004 after I graduated from my bachelor's degree, and in between bachelor's and master's programs, I had a really interesting experience with a blackout. Really started meditating, had some thoughts. After the power came back on, I went online and started investigating the thoughts I had. That's led me to this day and a lot of fun journeys. But along that path and studying through meditations and studying different religious traditions and spiritual traditions and whatnot, I noticed that a lot of the proponents, like even Jesus and Muhammad and the Buddha, talked about fasting as a practice in life. So I thought I wanted to integrate that into my own life. At one point, I kind of worked out like Jesus, and then these different people talked about 40-day fasts, and I was like, I don't want to fast for 40 days. So I broke it up, and if you fast 3 to 5 days a month over the whole year, that's about 40 days, more than 40 days total, depending on how much you fast. So I do that. So every month, at the beginning of the month, I fast for 3 to 5 days. This month I stopped after on Thursday because usually my partner, she likes to feed me. So once it's Thursday, she's like, "You're done fasting." I'm like, "But I want to go longer." She's like, "You're done fasting." She doesn't say that, but she likes me fed because I'm happier when I eat. But fasting, a lot of people have different opinions about it. There's a lot of hype and intermittent fasting now, and that's the latest health trend. Yeah, it's good for your if you want to lose weight or get in better health, but there's so many benefits mentally, physically, spiritually, and it helps you understand the fact that this dimension, this reality we live in, is dualistic in nature, and the part of you, your soul, not any of this physical reality, that's experiencing this dualistic dimension is kind of observing, and you're not you have more power from that point of observation than when you're really enmeshed in the physical sensation of it. So like when you fast and you can control the urge for your body to eat, it gives you a different awareness of a different part of yourself. And the more you do it, and it sucks. And when you can choose to do something shitty or crappy that you do not enjoy necessarily, but you're doing it for a purpose to better yourself, it has a greater effect on your consciousness as well. And this concept of good times and bad times is prevalent throughout our reality. And fasting is just an example of that you can do inside your body. But there's so many examples of how this plays out in real life. Just from sleeping is kind of like a fast from conscious awakenness. And even it provides each of us the opportunity to do microfasts. If you think about the word breakfast, it's breaking a fast. That's part of the reason that or one of the benefits of sleep is that it gives our body time to shut down. We're not eating, shoving food in it, and it gets a chance to relax. So that's like sleep is like a fast from wakefulness. And on my spiritual journey, I was just meditating actually earlier today. I hadn't been meditating for a couple of weeks. I hadn't like sat and meditated. I kind of meditate all the time, or if I'm sitting in the sun or something. But the thought I had today is that on a soul level, dying and death is a fast from the sensation of life. Just because that over a lifetime, especially, you can build up experiences and emotions and things of that nature, and it can get overwhelming. And as you get older and older and older, and the more people you've come in contact with and subsequently lost, just as the nature of the death of this reality, it can build up and get a little intense. So our own kind of death and then rebirth into whatever you think is next is a way for us to fast from this current state. And on that note, like with the reincarnation, I had a friend once kind of snicker when I was like, "Yeah, I believe in reincarnation." He's a Christian and he believes in like heaven and stuff. And I'm like, if you die and you go to heaven, you're not going there with this body, right? No, you're going there with another part of you. Isn't that reincarnation? You don't just, if a reincarnation is any life after this one, if it's not nothingness, it's reincarnation. So if you believe in anything, if you're not an atheist that believes in nothingness after this, you believe in some form of reincarnation, whether or not it's a physical birth or another dimension of being. So like it's kind of a faulty premise to say like, oh, Christians don't believe in reincarnation or these kinds of things because they're not using the word properly, in my opinion. That's just a side note. Back to the main topic. Good times, bad times, up and down. Like that's what's part of this whole journey, and that's what and I'm going to relate this to cryptocurrencies and markets because, especially the whole greater global economy, 2008 was like this top, and we had this crash, and since then they've been trying to pump this system up and keep any kind of recession from happening, but they're trying to go from like a dualistic cyclical free market to a controlled always up market, and that's like socialism or control. Like control is the opposite of freedom, and eventually they will lose control. You can't. It's just the nature of the duality that we live in over a long enough period of time. They are eventually going to lose control, and but the higher it gets, the worse it's going to be. So people like on the markets and all the traders like, no, don't let the recession come. They should have like years ago been, yeah, let it dip down and come back up. We can, especially the ones that know how to really play the market and short stuff, like play it down, play it up. But the fact that it just keeps going, it's when it crashes, it's going to wipe out most people, and the people that are in control currently, or the banks, are going to try and play this manipulation game all the way up. And I'm like stepping back to a larger cycle on that. I think that their time is kind of coming due because you got negative interest rates going on around the world. You got central banks printing money, just printing. The state of living for most people is not improving. Um, they were established what 1913. I think their cyclical time. That's already what, that's 105 years now. 106. Yeah, we might be coming at the end of that cycle, and it's just the nature of the beast. They've gotten the human, even if it was set up originally intentionally with a good plan, you never know. It's gotten corrupted now because that's what humans do over time because we're corruptible things. That's what this dimensions. So that's why we live in duality, to learn what and what not to do. You can't learn what not to do from only experiencing one side of that argument, right? So the cycle is coming to a close. I think with blockchain, there's going to be new businesses that are more because it's on a blockchain based system that's more transparent. That's kind of they're setting it up from the beginning to try and edge this human corruptibility factor as much as they can. And you'll see new banks arising that are blockchain based where they can see the money, where the funds are going, so things don't get rehypothecated and stuff like that. You can choose to lend, you can put your money in a wallet, or like with the Celsius app, even though the Celsius they pool their money into one different wallet, but you can have a wallet where you control the funds and lend them out from there and get them back. And you also get to take the counterparty risk if somebody doesn't pay you back, but that's the nature of the beast of the banks, right? But I think we're coming to the end of their cycle, and the dualistic part of it is that something else will rise up. But we're going to have this dip down in recession, and it's happened in cryptocurrencies too. This, I think, the cryptocurrency market is just a little bit quicker with it, and it goes like it's almost like it's trying to catch up to the market, and to do so, it's like speeding up the time. Like if you kind of logarithmically pull out on the Bitcoin chart, it looks a lot like the chart of gold, but just over a lot more years. So it's almost like that it has to catch up over time. And this is just kind of the nature of how it goes. And I think that these long-term cycles are just coming around, and we got some sun cycles coming around. We don't know what's coming. People think that they know. Scientists will tell us this and that's happening. Global warming's happening. There's a grand solar minimum happening. All these different things. I don't know what to believe anymore because everything's on the internet. So I kind of go day to day with what I see out there. I take all information in and apply it to what I see developing out in the world as best I can. I try not to say for anything's going to happen for sure. I'm also on this spiritual sorcery, like manifestation kick, where I think we're all manifesting reality together, second by second, with our conscious thought. And maybe there's something over that, a level higher than that, that kind of tries to guide the direction of thought with people. I can say that with the media, they do that, like propaganda. They clearly drive people one way or another through what they repeat over and over to people. But we're coming to the end of some older technological cycles. This new cycle of technology is coming up. I think we are going to go through a little recession before all this else kicks off. And like this transition to a new system of definitely more digital based money will probably be a little rough. There'll be a rough patch. And then we'll come out of it probably sometime in the early 20s. But yeah, the current market system is not set up any kind of free. It's definitely, they're just dumping money. The banks are giving money to corporations and stuff so they can buy back their stocks. It's propped up because they're trying the economy. The American economy is currently based on the stock market, what they want everybody to believe. They're trying to get people to spend money, but people don't have any money to spend. So this fast of our whole economy is coming up, but it's good. Just the same way that fasting cleanses out your body and helps you detoxify and get out all the gunk that's inside your body that you can't clean out when you're eating. Recessions and downturns in markets and stuff like that clean out the crappy companies and stuff like that are out there that are just parasitic and eating on just taking money from all the things that could build greater. And once we all go through this, it'll be better. So we all just need to realize we're going to have to go through a little bit of a fast. I like to do it monthly on my own to prepare me for these greater cyclical changes and realize like there's a sensation under this bad sensation that I'm calling hunger. Yeah, I'll finish with that. Life is about the sensation of life. Good or bad, under those definitions in our mind, there's a sensation. When you get your cut, yeah, there's a really pain, we call it pain in our arm. It's a sensation. But when you're not in one of these meat suits, you don't get that sensation. And your soul being loves that sensation. That's why we keep coming here to this puzzle box of duality that I call it. So if you can learn to find the pleasure in the painful sensations in life and the so-called negative times and learn to just appreciate the fact that life's happening, you might develop a different perspective and realize that sometimes these things need to happen just as part of this duality that we live in, and that's what makes it such a beautiful place. So that's your crypto awareness for today. Remember, awareness, acceptance, intention, action, patience. It's not about what you do. It's about being aware of what you do. All right, we'll talk with you guys later.